Hey guys, back here from a pad here. Guys, we are in for one exciting video. In today's video, I'm gonna give you a 10-day update on the seeds that I started 10 days ago. Guys, we're gonna also look at the transplants that I did, those seedlings that I bought at Ace, that huge 76 plants I got for $29. I'm gonna show you how those seedlings are doing. I think 7 days after I transplanted them. Also, I'm going to show you exactly how I mix my soil, guys. It's nothing fancy. I'm going to show you exactly how I mix my soil for these seedlings. And also, finally, we're going to be transplanting some seedlings. And I know they're kind of a little bit young to be transplanted, but I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. And I'm going to talk about why I'm transplanting them at this stage. So guys, the very first thing I want to do is give you a quick seedling update to show you the ones that have popped up. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to show you the ones that have popped up 10 days, well, 10 days, yeah, 10 days since seed start. So the last time we spoke, none of the Scotch bonnets had come up yet. And guys, look at this. I have at least, what, 10, 15 Scotch bonnets that came up. Tons of thorn-burn tomatoes, black beauty tomatoes, super sweet 100s, black strawberry. So all the tomatoes came up. This orange sweet pepper, I had just discovered. I actually grew this, but I ate my first one straight from the plants. Super sweet. It's like a fruit, the sweet pepper, and it was so good that I stuck some seeds in this pot. And just yesterday there were no seeds popping up. There were no plants popping up, but look at this, guys. Several of the orange peppers have popped up, and you can see the seeds are just, I just sprinkled the seeds on the top. Some more black beauties popping up here. I thought I didn't plant anything, but it looks like something is coming up here. Dinosaur kill is coming up. Brandywine is coming up. I see one coriander is just coming. Two corianders are coming through the soil. No nasturtiums yet. Then up here, guys, look at this. The mustard greens and the yodfa are definitely in the lead, and I am proud to say both the mustard greens and the yodfa are from my garden. I planted them last season. I saved the seeds, guys, and that's why I always tell you, save your seeds. I saved the seeds, and my seeds are doing way better than the store-bought seeds, I can say. All right, so let me show you real quick how the seedlings are doing, the transplants are doing that I bought from Ace, and then we'll go ahead and mix some soil and I'll show you how I'm doing my transplants. All of over here is the cauliflower I planted. When I transplanted, the leaves were very tender. The leaves actually broke off, but you can see everything is coming back. All the cauliflowers are doing very well. Right in this row, we have the broccoli. Over here, we have the kohlrabi. So everything has grown pretty significantly over the past 8 days. Here I have some cucumbers. The annoying little cucumber worms already started attacking them, so I had to go through and squish some by hand. Probably need to spray a little neem oil on it. But guys, the ones that are doing really phenomenal are my tomatoes, guys. Look at this, guys. These are the little tiny tomato seedlings, and the peppers are doing really great. This is my Cubanelle pepper, and guys, look at the green bell peppers, the California Wonder. Look how big those got, guys. These are the little tiny seedlings that I had the other day. So seedlings are doing great. And over here I have my beets. I put the beets in my raised bed, so the beets are coming up also. So everything so far did really good, considering $29 for 76 plants. Really awesome. My phone chipped out on me yesterday when I mixed the soil, when I transplanted all the scotches. Guys, all of these scotches were in that one pot. They were all in this pot. So I left 5 in there and I transplanted the rest out. So in all I have 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 21 scotches, guys, that came up. So I'm really excited about that. And that's the traditional Scotch bonnet. I also transplanted my black strawberries. No, I'm sorry, I didn't transplant those yet. I also transplanted my black beauty tomatoes, and I got let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got 10 out of that. So 10 black beauties. I'm gonna show you exactly what I did now. I'm gonna do some transplanting to show you exactly how I mix my soil. So here I have my tomato super sweet 100. This is the next one I was going to transplant. I'm going to show you exactly how I mix the soil and how I transplant it. So for the soil, I'm going to use equal parts Kellogg's potting mix. If you have the Kellogg's raised bed mix, that's fine. If you use it by itself, it's a little bit on the heavy side, but I discovered this potting mix at Ace. It's just called Just Natural Organic Potting or Organic Container and Potting Mix. So it's the texture is significantly different. Let me show you the two textures. Hold on. The reason I'm using two different types of soil potting mixes, when you're planting, especially these tender transplants, you want to make sure the soil is very, very light, very loose, so that the roots can spread easily. If it's an established plant, it's not that difficult for the roots to spread. When it's so young and tender as these plants, you need to make sure the roots can spread easily. So when you look at this, I mean, it's not bad. It looks like, you can see the texture looks very sandy. So I mean, that should be pretty easy for the spread. But it doesn't, I don't know. Kellogg's, I usually love Kellogg's. It's my first time using this potting mix, but doesn't look like it has a lot in it. And I'm not crazy about that texture. But then when you look at this one, look at the difference in the texture. You can see a lot of, to me, it looks like it has a lot more life. So I'm mixing this half and half. And guys, if you watch my videos long enough, you know I try different things. So this is my first time trying this brand. It's my first time mixing the two together. Just to get the texture I want, I'm going to use one part of each. And I'm also going to use my wiggle worm castings. So I did this last night. I mixed all three together here. I used one part of each of the potting mixes and 2 handfuls of the wiggle worm. And then look at this texture. And then I added some, totally not necessary, but I added some perlite. I found this bag of perlite after I actually mixed it and potted everything up. I found the perlite. So I just mixed in a handful of perlite in here. What perlite does is aerate the soil. It allows the roots to breathe. It's almost like adding a way to, oxygen to the soil. It lightens up the soil and it allows the roots to breathe. It allows the soil to be free draining. So that's always good to have a little perlite. So I added a little perlite here. So here I have my 10 pots and I'm just going to fill these up with the soil. Go through. It's probably even better to fill it up over here so you don't waste any of the soil. I'm going to fill these up and then I'll show you how to do the transplants. Alright, here's what it looks like, guys. I put the soil in these 8 pots. Then all those seed started, the trays that the seedlings came in, I'm going to put one of my mustard green per tray. I think that will give it enough time to spread, because you can see my mustard greens are in a thick patch. They're not going to grow like that. If they don't have space to spread out and for their roots, if their roots are competing with like 50 other ones in the same little cell, they're not gonna do well. So I just need to buy myself like a week's time. When I come back, I'm gonna transplant my mustards directly into the garden. The mustards and the yodfa, I had sprinkled them directly into the garden before and they did fine. So I'm gonna actually transplant some into the garden directly and then some into these trays, and then I can, put them in the exact positions I want, or even spread them out throughout the garden. They don't all have to be in the bed. So let me show you now what I'm gonna do to transplant. I'm gonna transplant my, super sweet 100 tomatoes and show you exactly what to do. So I'm using a fork. You can use your finger, but I'm using a fork to gently lift the tomatoes up. And you notice I'm not going directly against it. I'm going a little bit out. I'm gonna go all the way down and up to gently prod the tomatoes up without disturbing the roots. Okay, and then from here I can gently separate them. You can see the tomato. See those roots? So what you're gonna do is pull a pallet hole. So you're gonna stick your finger in each one. Stick your finger in to make a hole. Then you're gonna drop the tomato directly into the hole. And with tomatoes, you wanna plant them deep because tomatoes will form additional roots all the way up the stem. So grab a tomato. You can see the roots there. You have your hole. Then you're gonna drop the tomato directly into the hole. Then you're gonna squeeze the soil up around it. And there you have it planted. Then you're just gonna repeat that process. Drop the tomato into the hole. And guys, be sure to mark these. All the tomatoes are gonna look alike. I have my little sign. Stick my sign in one of the pots. I'm only using one tray. I'm using one tray per type of plant, so I can just stick I can stick my sign in one of the plants, and I know that entire tray. But if you have multiple plants in a tray, multiple different kind of plants, make sure you label them. Yeah guys, so it's as easy as that. Stick your hole, stick your finger in the hole. Make that hole. Drop your tomato. Oops, trying to line it up. Drop your tomato in the hole. Make sure you cover up the entire tomato all the way up to the top. And that's it guys. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this encourages you to go on out and plant a seed. I'm gonna do the same thing with my mustard greens, and this is what everything's gonna look like after. This is what it's gonna look like after. Of course, it's better to wait until you have at least a couple of true leaves. I just didn't have the luxury of the time this time, but it's better to wait until you have a couple of true leaves. These are just the initial baby leaves, but you use the exact same process of mixing your soil. Oh, and one more thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave like half an inch of this is a little bit of compost tea. You can use water, rainwater is best. I just mixed a little compost tea. I made some compost tea yesterday, so this is some heavily diluted compost tea. I'm gonna put like half an inch in the bottom of each tray, so that way while I'm away, the plants will suck up that nutrition. This is, of course, just something I'm doing, not something that's necessary, but I'm doing that for the plants just to give them that little extra nutrition. And of course, all my plants, all my seedlings are outdoors, so they're gonna get the natural rainwater anyway. But just in case it doesn't rain, which I think we're gonna have like 4 dry days next week, I wanna make sure that they have a reservoir. All right guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, bye now. Go plant a seed.